Justice will be done. 2 to the 5 to the 5 to the 3. I have found the hammer.
I have always thought that Reinhardt is such an awesome character. No, seriously, this guy is bad to the bone. Just listen to his voice line after Mercy tells Reinhardt he should just retire.
Never. I will fight to my last breath.
Even though I don't play as Reinhardt, well, I kinda did in Uprising. But other than that, I don't play as Reinhardt. He has so much history and story that I would love to know about it. So before we take a closer look at Reinhardt, let's go over on how I made this figure. And the base that I used to make Reinhardt was actually a Ben 10 figure from the new Ben 10 show or toys, whatever. I believe the name of this character is Diamond Head. And I actually got that figure at Toys R Us for $20. And I pretty much covered the whole body with epoxy sculpt. You can barely tell what figure it was before. I think the only place that I didn't use epoxy sculpt was in the forearms. Except for one arm, because in one arm it has that lion shield thing. But yeah. So it took me maybe about like 96 hours to make this figure. I didn't have like work or school to get in the way, so I was able to work on it really fast. I pretty much woke up early in the morning and went to bed like at 3 o'clock in the morning just to finish this custom. And in case you were wondering, yes, I actually did make the hammer. You can't make Reinhardt without the hammer. So yeah. And the way that I made the hammer, I actually used his lightsaber for the handle. But yeah, so right now he doesn't have a lightsaber on this little thingy. So, and funny thing is that these items back here actually came from another Star Wars piece. I'll post a picture right here to show you guys. I actually chopped up the little things in the back from the ship and put it back here in the back of the hammer, because Reinhardt has like little jet boost behind his hammer. So I needed something similar to that. But yeah, pretty much this hammer is made out of Star Wars stuff. But with that said, let's take a closer look at Reinhardt. Alright, so here's my Reinhardt. And I just want to say, I know this isn't really technically an accurate suit of Reinhardt, but I just had to simplify it just to keep my sanity. Because if you see pictures of Reinhardt, he has too much machinery for me to imitate with the epoxy sculpt. And I was going for like a kind of like a cartoony look, because the way the body is shaped, it looked really cartoony, so I had no other choice but to go that route. But nonetheless, I really like how it turned out. I do like the style that it's in. It really does look animated, like if it was like from an animated show. So I thought it was pretty cool. Like I already mentioned, this figure is pretty much covered with epoxy sculpt from head to toe, just except for the forearms. He does have epoxy sculpt right here. I made the little lion shield that he has, and I put some like shoulder, elbow pads, because he kind of has like some elbow pads going on. This part right here, this little jet thing, actually came from a Batman toy. I'll post a picture on the screen for you know what I'm talking about. I actually chopped that off and put it back here, you know, just to imitate his jet boost, whatever it's called. I also added a little detail onto the suit because his suit is kind of worn out, because he's been using this suit for years. So I thought it was always a nice little detail of him. So I had to include you know, some battle damage onto this custom. Yeah, now let's give him a quick turn, where you can see all angles of this custom. And as for the articulation, he pretty much has the same amount that he had. I wanted to keep the articulation because I'm a big fan of posable action figures. So I think it would have been cool to have a, you know, a posable Reinhardt. So he pretty much has, you know, movement in the head, on the shoulders, on his elbows. I don't think he had wrist articulation to begin with. So he can bend, he can move his legs, he can bend at the knee. He had no articulation in the ankles. So if I wanted to, I can make Reinhardt look like he's kind of like running. Alright, now let's take a closer look at this hammer. Like I already mentioned, it's pretty much made out of mostly Star Wars stuff. And yeah, I know the hammer isn't accurate either, but I mean, I still like how it turned out. I tried to imitate the wiring with the epoxy scope. So I thought that turned out pretty well. You can actually hit somebody with this hammer and it would actually hurt. It's pretty heavy. Now the most important question is, can he hold the hammer? And the answer is yes, he can actually hold the hammer. I was not gonna design a Reinhardt that couldn't hold the hammer, because then there wouldn't be no point. So originally he couldn't hold the hammer. So the thing I did is I put some epoxy scope on the thumb, like inside here. That way the lightsaber, well the handle I mean, the handle doesn't slip. So the epoxy scope makes it from stopping from falling off. But yeah, this Reinhardt stands about over 10 inches tall. Well, I'm including the tip of his horn. So yeah, over 10 inches. And in case you wanted to see a quick comparison, here's a comparison next to a raw Nintendo Mario. And here's a quick comparison next to a 6-inch figure. But I'm really proud of this custom, and as I already mentioned, I know he isn't really accurate to the game, but I still love the animated look that he has. I work really hard in this custom. I put a lot of hours into him. I almost died a little bit. And now I'm gonna cut to a few pictures.
Hey, listen up.
Incoming! You know what time it is.
I can't wait to get started.
All right, take it from the top. Oh, I'm in this room.
Now this is a role reversal.
Now, hold on. Hey, it's your funeral.
Medic! Wait, yes, please. I'll send you my consultation fee. Hold back! Just kidding. What you looking at?
Hi there. Enjoying the exhibit?
No,
Pardon me. Out of the lab.
don't mess with me.
Everything flows in harmony.
Alright, so I put my Reinhardt with the rest of my custom figures. I love it that he towers over all my other custom figures. That's pretty cool. Alright guys, thank you for watching my video. I really appreciate that. And if you like this video, please leave a like. It will really help me a lot. And also share with your friends and family, because I might be doing more Overwatch customs in the future. So to address the challenge I was issued by Wake Angel, now it's your turn to make a character from a video game franchise you have never done before. And also follow me on Instagram, because I post a lot of cool pictures of my toys and stuff. And as always, stay tuned, because I'm going to be making more customs. Until next time.
I need healing.